Oh, two mayors coming in. Mayor Smith, Mayor Barasa, there's some seats up here for you. Mayor Smith used to come in 15 minutes late. Now he comes here on time, maybe 15 seconds early, but it's always an honor and pleasure to have him here. He's, for those of you relatively new to Las Cruces, he's Las Cruces' longest serving mayor. Okay, well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's an honor to speak to you today. First of all, welcome, bienvenidos, and heartfelt thanks to my colleagues on the City Council, to members of our city staff, to all of our fellow citizens who are in attendance today or watching at home. I also want to thank my wife and First Lady, Rosie Miyagishima, for your love, support, and inspiration. And also today is our oldest son, Juan, who is joining us today. It's also a special pleasure for me to introduce my parents, Mike and Catalina Miyagishima. You can just wave your hand, you don't have to. My brother James, my father and mother-in-law, Ruben and Hortensia Ressa. And although the rest of our children aren't here with us today, I would like to wish my daughter Danielle a belated happy birthday. I'm pleased to report today that the state of our city is strong. A key element of that strength continues to be our careful fiscal stewardship. The city ended the last fiscal year with over $7 million in savings. And we continue to maintain our reserve account at twice the level required by state law. This financial record is a credit to the management skills of City Manager Robert Garza and Assistant City Managers Brian Denmark and Mark Winson, as well as our entire city staff. Each year, Robert leads this council and department heads through a very intensive and grueling review process, and which in turn has developed a very nice strategic plan. This careful management of resources makes everything else that we do in the city possible, including a long list of major improvements that are currently underway. This year, we will, in cooperation with the county, finish the Mesilla Valley Regional Dispatch 911 Center. We're moving towards the construction phase of our new East Mesa Public Safety Campus near the corner of Loman and Sonoma Ranch Boulevard, which will also include adjacent space for park and recreational facilities. We will be nearing completion by this time next year of our long-awaited Civic Plaza, a site that will anchor our city and provide outdoor space for Las Cruces to gather. We look forward to having La Clínica de Familia open its new facility in the former City Hall, former City Office building, and hope to finalize the sale of the old City Hall to the federal government as they turn it into an office complex. It's great to see people strolling on Main Street as they visit our museums, restaurants, and shops. We're also moving forward in cooperation with New Mexico State University with plans for a new hotel, which is adjacent to our city convention center, which will dramatically increase the number of people coming here to enjoy our hotels and our tourist facilities. Another attraction will be the new Organ Mountain Desert Peaks National Monument, which is expected to boost the local economy by over $7 million a year. Our beautiful landscape, our open spaces, and public lands continue to be strong economic assets to our city and to our region. Wherever we look, there are new opportunities for our residents and new enthusiasm for the future. Ground was recently broken for the new School of Osteopathy on the NMSU campus, and we welcome Franco Whole Foods to its new facility just west of downtown. This is a project that Councilor Nathan Small has worked very hard on, one that will bring over 150 new jobs and a strong partner to our local community. Las Cruces is on the move, and it's the envy of municipalities across the state. These are many achievements, and the enthusiasm for our city makes them possible. Might not be too apparent for the regular reader of Sound Off, or those who mistook the passion of debate over the recent minimum wage discussion about our commitment to moving together forward. I don't see it that way. The recent minimum wage deliberations are a reflection of our city's strength, especially our willingness to think about the community as a whole and how we can build an economy that works for everyone. In that respect, we are in the forefront of a discussion that is certain to occupy our nation as a whole in the coming years. While our own wage discussion is still fresh in our minds, I'd like to reflect for a moment on what we've learned from it and how we might be able to build on that experience in charting our future. One of the first challenges on the minimum wage initiative was negotiating the process itself. The petitions turned in by CAFE represented the first time that we had an occasion to utilize this initiative process outlined in the city charter. A great deal of time and effort went into deciding the technical questions, ranging from when there was to be a vote as to what type of language was going to be on the ballot. As it turned out, a majority of the City Council decided to adopt the initiative with a plan of making changes before the initiative became law. And that is what a separate council majority voted to do a couple months later, producing a minimum wage ordinance currently in effect for the city. One takeaway from this whole experience, in my view, is that the council needs to be, in the future, to more faithfully follow the procedure outlined in the city charter. The charter clearly states that the council will either adopt a proposed ordinance without any change in substance or send it to the voters. Whatever the narrow legality of officially adopting the ordinance and then changing it in a short time later, this action was not consistent with the spirit of the charter. In the future, we need to either change the charter itself in respect to the initiative or do what it says. This means that we should either accept the initiative as proposed with only minor changes agreed to by the measure sponsor or send it to the public for a vote. Again, this was the first time that we had a chance to use this process. In the future, we'll be better prepared in terms of understanding what options that we have. Beyond the process question, there are deeper issues that the wage discussion brought to our attention that I'd also like to consider today. First, let me describe my own personal journey on this question. Like many of you, I came to the question of raising the minimum wage for Las Cruces workers with mixed feelings. On one hand, I grew up in a loving but relatively low-income family, and I scrambled to make my way. In 1979, I got my first job at Taco Bell, making $2.90 an hour. Sometimes I still find myself telling these guys at Taco Bell how to make these burritos and tacos, but that was the minimum wage at the time. I was a hard worker and money was tight, and I did without a lot that other kids had. After college, I started my own business, and I've been in business all my life. I've come to see the kind of struggle that I faced during the early years of my work life as a valuable experience, teaching me that hard work and discipline will eventually pay off. A few months ago, though, when I was working with my 16-year-old son on budgeting money from his job, I realized how much times have changed. The $2.90 an hour that I earned in 1979 at Taco Bell would be well worth over $10 today. I realized that I was earning in those beginning years a wage much higher in real terms than what minimum wage workers earn today. I began to realize that some of us may need to update our view on what a dollar is worth in 2015, especially since the cost of so many things like higher education have increased much more rapidly than the cost of living as a whole. Other things have not changed. Young people need to earn enough to get launched in life and to learn, as we did, that hard work leads to freedom and opportunity. It's important that they get the experience and training to move ahead economically, and of course many do. Meanwhile, many other workers of all ages are still clustered near the bottom of the pay scale without much chance of that changing. And these people are important to us. They take care of our children while we're working. They bathe and feed our elders as their health fails. They build our homes, they clean our motel rooms, and they serve us our meals. What they do is crucial to our economy and our daily lives. I know my fellow business owners share this understanding. Our employees are not just our key partners in our economic success, but they are our friends and neighbors. We want them to earn as much as they can and have real options and opportunity, spend time with their families and support their children's education, and be fully involved in the life of our community. That's why I'm suggesting today that the council endeavor to honor however imperfectly that it was arrived, the minimum wage ordinance that was passed in early December. Delaying the next wage increases to 2017 and 2019, as the ordinance provides, and will give businesses time to adjust and give workers a way into the larger economy. With the same effect that minimum wage that has so many of us enjoyed ourselves as we entered the workforce. The current ordinance includes a review every July, which we will certainly engage in, but I'm guessing that outcomes will still be unclear. If that's the case, then I hope we will stay the course with what we agreed on, giving predictability to businesses and employees alike. That way we can look one another in the eye as we move through our days and know that a fair wage for a fair day's work is in place in Las Cruces. One more reason to be proud of the city that we live in. I'd like to share one final thought from the minimum wage discussion. I believe that we're a better community for taking this on. I see KVIA and others who joined in the initiative playing an important role in our community as they call on us to examine what might otherwise have been ignored. We may struggle to find effective solutions, but we're better people and a better city for having these questions raised. I have new appreciation for my fellow business owners as well. I share their perspective that the workforce, training, and a steadily improving economy are essential to improving wages. I appreciate that after the issue was first raised, they supported the council's initial wage ordinance, an ordinance that raised the wage to almost $1 above the current state minimum. I know that they care about their employees and they want the best for their lives. In any case, I don't think KVIA is going anywhere. I expect that they will continue to remind us of our many responsibilities to the people of our community, serving as a kind of chamber of commerce for those who would otherwise be unheard. I got that from Bishop Ramirez, by the way. I also know that business owners, whatever the headwinds and frustrations, will continue to build and buy and sell, to employ and serve, carrying out activities that have been at the center of human society since the beginning of time. With that in mind, I have a few gifts that I'd like to give out. Maybe some of you have seen these t-shirts that Richard Parra, the owner of Spirit Winds, has designed. As you can see, there's a map of the state of New Mexico with a Zia sign for Las Cruces and the label of home. Now, I know Oscar's out in the audience. Unfortunately, Marcy Dickerson of the game, is she here? Oh, I didn't see her. You guys can stay there. I'd like to at least recognize you if you wouldn't mind at least standing up. I want to ask Sarah Nolan and Cassie Calway of KVIA to be recognized. I will be giving you these shirts as a way of thanking you for all that you do for our city. I hope that this will serve as a reminder that whatever our disagreements we have from time to time, that we're in this together. What we're trying to do is build a better community, and Las Cruces is the home that we share. I will have to tell you, though, the shirts are a little bit back on order. Apparently, they're very popular. There were plenty of shirts before Valentine's Day, but they were all out of them. In fact, this is the display, so blame it on me, but I'll get you the shirts when they come in. And probably after today, the shirts are really going to be on back order. So, again, thank you for your service to our community and your patience for those of us in public service as we strive to get it right. I started today by reporting that the state of the city is strong. I have made clear our belief that this strength depends on good financial stewardship. I've mentioned just a few of the many exciting initiatives underway. I've also suggested that we become stronger as we negotiate challenging questions about who we are as a community and as we figure out together the best way to proceed. The final area I would like to touch on today combines all of these elements and is rooted in what we think of as our purpose as a city. At its most basic level, the purpose of city government is the public good. Specifically, it is to use our shared resources to do together what we can't do alone. Building and maintaining streets, providing water and sewage systems, and creating a sphere of public safety through our police, fire, and emergency services. Inevitably, as the city grows, we aspire to those things that contribute to the quality of life, like libraries and playgrounds, senior centers and recreational programs, ball fields, swimming parks and pools, swimming pools and parks. It's important that we understand that these are not just products that we consume, but part of something that we build together, the large and complex creation of public life. And that public life, in turn, provides a platform for our private lives, the setting in which each of us seek meaning and fulfillment, and in all the different ways that we choose. It's an odd and hopeful enterprise, this democratic process of building a city. We may never use some of the benefits that the city offers, benefits that may go to people that we've never met, and yet we continue to work together, investing our time, talents, and resources, creating a better life, not just for ourselves, but for everybody else. I hope we will continue to make these investments necessary, contributing our tax dollars, our energy and creativity, our attention and our votes to make this a great place to live. I'm confident that we will, and especially since that commitment is so much in evidence in our community today. That's why I'm so excited by the projects that I outlined at the start of my talk today. I can hardly wait until the Civic Center is finished and hear the shouts of children at play at the water feature as the sound of laughter spreads throughout the streets of downtown. I'm looking forward to the new clinic and federal offices and eager to see the people move into the new loft apartments behind the Las Cruces Sun News Building. I'm already looking forward to going to downtown to watch the chili drop on December 31st. I'm also excited by the new facilities that are still in the planning stages, like a first-class swimming facility suitable for our own use and regional competitions. I want to make sure that we have great sports and recreation facilities for our young people and active adults. I'm excited by the new park behind the retention dam, a 700-acre natural area for all of us to enjoy. It's also great to see people at all hours of the day walking on the bike trails that increasingly connect us as a city. We're already working more closely with the county, but I'm eager to work more closely with our Las Cruces Public Schools as well. I want to take a moment to thank Dr. Bonnie Votaw and Dr. Connie Phillips for their service these past 8 years. I'm also pleased to welcome our new school board members, Maury Castro and Mr. Edward Frank. I also ask that you pass along our continuing interest in partnering with the school district to make local schools true centers of our neighborhood and after-school programs and recreation programs that the city can sponsor. We can do great things when we work together. All we need is a willingness to invest in ourselves and the future of our community. I've talked a lot today about that willingness to invest. I would like to finish by reflecting on the bargain that investment entails, and that the expectation that the resources we contribute will be wisely and efficiently utilized, and the institution that we create together, city government, will be effective, transparent, and fair. This is perhaps the most important commitment that we make to ourselves. It's also one in which I believe we've made important progress. First, I want to recognize our city council. Whatever disagreements we've had, I know that all of you have acted conscientiously and in good faith, representing to the best of your abilities the people of our city. City Manager Garza and our assistant city managers and our entire city staff are exemplary civil servants, developing and presenting our options with clarity and effectively carrying out our policies that we enact. Important to this process has been our commitment to the strategic plan. Some of you have got it in the back. This outlines the priorities of the council and staff, laying out publicly and in detail what we intend to accomplish over a given period. Progress towards each goal is monitored carefully and summarized at regular intervals. There are copies in the back of the room, if you haven't gotten one, of the 2014 strategic plan, which includes results from the previous 2 years, 2012 and 2013. I hope you will take a look and take one on your way out. I think you'll be impressed by what all has been accomplished, and that you will appreciate the accountability that this effort entails. Second, there's the importance of responsiveness to the people of the city. Some of you remember last year's State of the City address when I expressed the hope that our customer service would be eventually as good as a 5-star hotel. Well, I'm happy to report that we're well on our way. I hope you'll visit the new city website. The first thing you'll see is a link to our Citizen Contact Center with its links to the people and departments who can respond to every conceivable need or concern related to their city. There are phone numbers to reach customer service representatives as well, and if you're still not satisfied, you'll find contact information for Miss Jamie Rickman. So Jamie, if you wouldn't mind raising your hand and let you know who you are. She's our hardworking community liaison whose job it is to find the people and the answers that you need. Finally, we are committed to careful planning as a city and region, including as partners in the Viva Doñana initiative and the comprehensive planning process that is currently underway. By developing and committing ourselves to good comprehensive planning, we can be much more thoughtful and efficient in the extension of our streets, water, and other city services. This not only gives important predictability to the development of our community, it also helps us preserve the things that we prize in our community and its surroundings. Through all this that we've discussed today, our commitment to financial stability and the efficient use of resources, the many fruits of that stewardship that we see around the city, our appreciation of a variety of perspectives as we work together, a glimpse of some of the many opportunities that still lie ahead, I hope you will share my assessment of the work that we've done. So I'm pleased to report once more that the state of the city is strong and that we are poised to make important steps forward in the coming months and years. Thank you for your faith in me and in one another. Thank you for this opportunity to be your mayor. Let's look forward with resolve and excitement to the days that lie ahead and to an ever brighter future for this special place that we call home. Thank you.